Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I am the CHALL, and today, Chall Chats Doncaster Rovers. We are here with another episode of our mini recruitment series looking at 5 players from different leagues up and down the country and the United Kingdom in general, where we could see potential summer targets. I'm not saying these are confirmed to be our summer targets, but this is just my own little mini research project just to get warmed up, ready for the big recruitment plan video, which will come out in June/July 2024. Now then, this is the fourth episode in our series. We've done Premier League under 23 players. We've done Championship players. We've done League One. Now we're on to League Two. So this is a division we all know very well from the last couple of seasons now, including this season. And we've looked and we've found 5 incredible players from League Two who we think could be brilliant signings at this level. Now, before we get started, make sure you do like, comment, subscribe. Click the notification bell so you never miss another YouTube video. We're on the road to 3,000 subscribers and 500,000 views. Let's get there as soon as possible. Please check out all the recent content from around the last week. And for now, guys, let's have a look at the 5 players that I've chosen from League Two as potential summer signings. See what you think in the comments down below and share your thoughts to who you would see from League Two coming in to the mighty Red and White Army. So we kick off at Valley Parade with an out of contract attacking midfielder, Harry Chapman. He's scored at different levels of the game. He's got the opportunity to get more regular football here at Doncaster Rovers. He's quick, direct, comfortable on the ball. He'll be a regular starter in that number 10 role, or at least competing for a number 10 regular starting role at the very least. He's an experienced player, out of contract this summer, and for me, would be an excellent signing. Chapman scored the free kick that knocked us out of the Bristol Street Motors Trophy right before, I think it was right before the semi-finals, in fact. And for me, I think that Harry Chapman would be a brilliant signing. For me, I think the experience he's got, I think the directness he's got, I think that the ability that he's potentially got on his best day. It was very, very hard. I had a choice between 2 Bradford players for this video. I'll be brutally honest with you guys. The choice was between Harry Chapman and Jamie Walker. And don't get me wrong, Jamie Walker, get rid of the injuries. And on his best day, he is arguably the best player in that position in that league, 100 million percent. And, I know Rovers and Bradford fans don't always get along, but I'll be respectful to Bradford and say I would take Jamie Walker any day of the week. But I've gone with Harry Chapman just because I feel like Jamie Walker's more likely to stay than Harry Chapman. And for me personally, I think Harry Chapman kind of suits the way we play in terms of being in that number 10 role. I think he can be adaptable as well. He can play out wide maybe. He can maybe be adapted to playing a deeper playmaker role. So if you want to go like we did against Wrexham with the 4-3-3 and have your number 6 and then put your number 8 and number 10 roles together in front of the number 6 role, then you can have Chapman playing in the number 10 role alongside an Owen Bailey with a Matthew Craig style behind him. So, and then obviously 4-2-3-1, you put Chapman as the number 10. So you've got adaptability there with Harry Chapman, as well as your versatility and the strengths that he brings to the pitch. And for me, I think he'd be a wonderful signing. Don't get me wrong, Jamie Walker would be a brilliant signing as well. But I've gone with Harry Chapman just because I think that that's a position we need more if we're going to pick a Bradford player, 100 million percent. Next up, we've got a pressing forward, or a quick forward, definitely. It's Rushian Hepburn-Murphy of Swindon Town. Swindon Town, we hate to profit from clubs that are going through bad ownership situations or reported bad ownership situations. However, the situation at Swindon Town is not the greatest, and I do sympathise with the Swindon Town supporters about what's going on at the moment with everything around their club. It just doesn't feel like a great place at the moment, and one of their stars in their team, who I feel's got a lot of pace and a lot of things to give, is Rushian Hepburn-Murphy. He drives forward well. He can be utilised as an attacking midfielder as well. We can utilise him behind the striker role. So that was very important with the pressing forward role in terms of the roles that we're looking to invest in for the summer potentially. He could be very useful. He has got a lot of experience. He has got a lot of experience in the past. Yet to have discussions as we speak about a brand new contract. So he is our contract this summer. Yet to have discussions as we speak, as this has been recorded. Of course, something may have happened after this video goes up. However, as of now, as of recording this, nothing's happened contract wise. So for now, he is out of contract and at the moment leaving in the summer on a free. So Rushian Hepburn-Murphy for me adds a lot of pace, adds a lot of experience, and is the kind of player we can bring into a better environment. No disrespect to Swindon Town as a football club, but I think the environment there has not been the greatest this season overall. And for me, yes, Doncaster Rovers haven't had a great season overall. We've had a Jekyll and Hyde season where the first half of the season overall has been average at best, but the second half of the season has been well and truly lit up in flames. That's the best way to describe it. And for me personally, it's one of those where you bring a player into a better environment, they thrive better. And I think that with his traits, with his pace, with his experience, with his versatility as an attacking midfielder as well, I think that you bring RHM into the dressing room and you get a better player out of him. And I think when you take someone out of what's been seen by many at Swindon as a toxic environment, I'm not saying it's definitely a toxic environment behind the dressing room, but what I would say about toxic environment is you're at a club where there's a lot going on behind the scenes, ownership wise. So, and you lost your manager and you've got to temper it to the end of the season, then you've got to start again in the summer. So, you take RHM out of that environment where a lot's going on behind the scenes, this, that, the other. You bring him into a Doncaster Rovers environment where it's getting better every week. It's the club's in a better position. The club's getting a lot of positive attention and they're looking to progress from this and go up and try and go up next season. So that's a project that someone would want to be a part of more. Again, no disrespect to Swindon because they've got a lot of history as a football club. They're a very historic football club, a lot of great history previously with higher divisions, the top flight, etc. But I think environment wise, I think RHM would more likely go to a better environment than Swindon at the moment next season. And I mean, it's up to him. He might end up staying at Swindon, to be fair. But for me personally, I feel like he would be an excellent signing at Doncaster Rovers in terms of bringing a new player into this environment and watching him thrive to be a better player than he already is. For me, I think that he'd be a great signing, 100 million percent. Next up is someone who's been hit with quite a lot of injuries, but he's still an absolute experienced gem in League Two, and on his best day is one of the best in his position. Myles Hippolyte out on the left wing, out of contract this summer at Stockport, who are destined to be automatically promoted to League One. Very experienced player. He's adaptable either side of the wing. He's good in possession, strides around the pitch fluently, effectively. He brings the mentality of a winner from a winning squad, which, when you look at the sum we've got coming up, you need to look at one or two players that are going to be previous winners that have previously won at this level or previously just been a winner at a club higher up, maybe, and maybe needs more game time further down after just coming off of being a winner with a winning team because he has played games this season. He has been part of the season somewhat. And for me, someone like Myles Hippolyte would be a wonderful addition to this squad. And he's someone for the younger players to learn from as well, especially the wingers, because you look at players like um, you look at the prime players, you Luke Molyneux, Akeem Adelakan, if he ends up coming permanently. John Taylor's still there until at least the end of the season. You've got your younger people like your Tavonga Kuleas, Deji Satona. I think Myles Hippolyte would be a brilliant leader to learn from, along with your prime leaders like your Molyneux, your Taylors, your potentially your Adelakans. I think Hippolyte would be another addition to that. Cal Hurst can learn from Hippolyte 100 million percent. And there's the option there to really tutor younger players, and Myles would do that. And I think that him coming from a winning squad like Stockport, who for me will be automatically promoted this season, there's no doubt about it. But for me, I think Myles Hippolyte would be a wonderful addition to this squad because he gets regular first team football with us after the season he's had this season, and if he ends up leaving Stockport, I could see him either staying in League Two or going to like another. I could see him going to League Two. If he's going to leave Stockport, I could see him going to a high end League Two club. And I think that's where we need to be next season, a high end League Two club. So for me, I think it would be a no brainer to at least have a look at him and start discussing things with him as to what he would like to do. So I think, and I've spoken to Stockport fans a lot of times, and I know a lot of Stockport fans like, really, you think Myles Hippolyte's going to leave us and things like that. And for me, if he was to leave, I would take him in a heartbeat. Again, it's like Jamie Walker. It's like take away the injuries, and he's one of the best people in that position, in my opinion, in the league. So for me, I think Myles would be an excellent addition with a winning mentality that can be embedded into the Rovers squad to try and win something next season. Next up is another winger adaptable on either side, and he's coming from um, a recent spell with Harrogate Town, and that is him, who is out of contract in summer 2025. I did have a choice of Sam Folarin instead. However, I decided to go for the main man who impressed us against Harrogate when we played him. Abraham Odoh. You guys know how much I love this guy. Scored and assisted plenty during his time this season at Harrogate. Quick, direct, full of pace, technically gifted well, fully energized. He's one of the standout players, in my opinion, in that Harrogate Town team. And for me, I think he'd be a wonderful signing. I think his pace, his technicality, his skill level, I think that it matches everything we need to invest in with a winger. He isn't too old as well. Again, we're looking here at the kind of 22, 23 mark, I believe. And for me personally, he just adds he adds that extra flair and that extra kind of zest that we kind of need in that kind of player. So for me, I think that, and again, no disrespect to Harrogate, but I think someone like Abraham Odoh in a different setup would just thrive just even more. He's doing amazing with Harrogate, and fair play to Harrogate this season because they challenged the playoffs for a while this season, for a little while this season, and they flirted with that kind of seventh spot a couple of times. And for me, I think that Harrogate's had a brilliant season overall, especially where they finished last season. And Weaver's done a fantastic job. The Weaver dad son duo has done wonders again with that side. Like they did first getting into the National League and then getting into the Football League by winning the playoffs. And for me, Harrogate's been one of the underdog stories of the Football League in the last few years, especially with the previous history and when before the Weavers joined. And an example of Harrogate's excellent season this season has been Abraham Odoh. It's been represented in Abraham Odoh. And I think that, like I said, his pace, his drive, his energy, his flair, his charisma, his flamboyance on the pitch, the way he maneuvers the ball, twists and turns in and out, I think it suits wonders for the kind of winger we need. We need someone who isolates their man, great in one-on-ones, has a lot of pace, a lot of drive, a lot of flair, a lot of energy, and can just trick people on the inside and back on the outside, and maybe even back on the inside again. And I think Odoh is one of those underrated players, or one of the most underrated players in this league this season that fits that bill. And then finally, for my League Two video, I've gone with an experienced player, someone who hasn't had a lot of game time this season at Barrow, but for me would be an excellent signing. Ben Whitfield, cult hero in League Two, and for me would be someone who would be fantastic. And he's ex-Bradford youth as well, so I think it would suit with our region and where we are in terms of Yorkshire. He's versatile. He's adaptable on the left as well. He's an efficient scorer, a great assist specialist. He causes problems, real problems with his technicality, his ability, his dynamic presence on the pitch. He's skillful, technical. If we were to sign him, he would start as the out and out number 10 in the 4-2-3-1, or you put him as the number 10 role alongside Owen Bailey with a number 6 behind them in the 4-3-3. He's out of contract this summer. We don't know yet if he's going to sign a new one. However, I think that there's a chance he could still sign with a new contract. I think he might have an option. I'm not too sure. But for me, Ben Whitfield would be an excellent, excellent signing. The reason why I love Ben Whitfield is that he's just dynamic. He's just really dynamic on the pitch, and the way he just exuberates flamboyance on the pitch and the way he exuberates the press and turns it into his own. He's an excellent presser of the ball. And for me, I think he would do wonders in that midfield. I think he'd really, really nail down that number 10 role spot in the team and the starting lineup. And I think he'd get a lot more game time next season than he's had this season. Obviously, that can't be helped due to injuries that he's had this season. But for me, I think with our injury situation getting better with David Rennie as head of medical, I think that Ben Whitfield can start with a clean slate at Donny and could really help lead us to where we need to be going next season, which is trying to aim for that top 7 finish. So Ben Whitfield for me will be an excellent, excellent signing. So there we are, ladies and gentlemen. That is your 5 League Two players that I could see us looking at this summer in terms of potential realistic targets. A few players from 5 different clubs. Obviously, that is usually the rule. And for me, I feel like any one of those 5 would be marquee signings, 100,000,000%. Now, thank you very much, guys, for watching this video. Make sure you do like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you leave your suggestions in the comments down below. Also, fans of those clubs, the 5 mentioned, comment down below. How likely is it that those guys are going to lead their clubs? Comment down below. And for now, guys, I am the CHALL. Ta for now, and that is full time.